You might not believe it, but 5 seemingly harmless habits could be quietly making your eyesight worse every single day. Ever tried reading at night and felt the words dance on the page? Noticed a tiny smudge in your field of view and thought, must be age. According to the World Health Organization, 1 in 3 adults over 65 already has some degree of vision loss, often from silent habits, not just disease. If that worries you, hit subscribe and stay with me. I'm Dr. Richard Bennett, a physician with over 30 years of experience caring for the vision of older adults like you. In that time, I've seen the fear of those who begin to lose clarity and worry about depending on others for even the simplest tasks. That's why I created this video, to reveal the mistakes many make without realizing it and how to fix them in practical ways. Stay with me until the end. Vision loss rarely arrives all at once. It creeps in slowly, like a faint shadow spreading across the screen of a movie. At first, it's just straining your eyes to finish a newspaper headline or a TV subtitle, and you tell yourself it's only fatigue. Then, the streetlights at night blur into confusing halos, making driving feel unsafe. Before long, even crossing the street becomes less of a simple step and more of a fearful decision. Many of my patients describe the same journey. First, details start to fade. Next, there's a growing hesitation to go out alone. Gradually, beloved hobbies like sewing, quilting, or reading become tiring. And eventually, they begin avoiding social situations, feeling isolated inside their own lives. The damage isn't only visual, it's emotional and social too. A study from the American Academy of Ophthalmology found that seniors with vision loss are up to 3 times more likely to develop depression. Because when vision fades, you lose more than just reading ability. You lose the freedom to drive, the security of walking with confidence, and the joy of clearly seeing the faces of loved ones. What makes it even harder is the belief that the only solutions are expensive appointments, eye drops that cost a fortune, or surgeries that sound terrifying. But here's the part almost no one tells you. Often, it's not just disease that speeds up vision loss, it's the everyday habits we don't think twice about. It may sound unbelievable, but common routines like reading in poor light, using eye drops without guidance, or even consuming hidden sugars can act like silent leaks in the roof of your eyesight, wearing it down day by day. And that's exactly what we're going to uncover now. The body has an amazing ability to protect and heal itself even after age 60 or 70. But when it's repeatedly exposed to harmful behaviors, that resilience weakens. Think of it like a well-made machine. It can last for decades, but misuse it and it wears out too soon. That's why, before assuming it's just age, it's critical to recognize the habits that quietly steal away clarity, comfort, and independence. The good news is that once you identify these mistakes and adjust them, you can give your eyes a fresh chance. This isn't about miracles, it's about awareness. Vision loss isn't always just age or destiny. Often, it's the result of invisible habits, and learning what those habits are is the first step toward protecting your eyes. Pay close attention now, because this is serious. Weak vision is not the only danger. The greatest risk for people over 60 lies in falls, because they steal away your independence. Did you know that 96% of seniors over 60 have already suffered serious falls? And these falls are not just simple accidents. They often lead to fractures, and worse, they take away your independence, your freedom, and your confidence to walk safely. But there is a simple solution. With just 10 seconds a day, the neurobalance therapy protocol reactivates balance muscles forgotten by time, giving you back your stability and control over your life. Don't wait for the next fall. Regain your confidence today. Click the first link in the comments or point your camera at the QR code and start right now. I guarantee you, this protocol will transform your life. Reading in poor light. It seems like such a small thing, but reading in dimly lit spaces may be harming your eyesight far more than you realize. Many older adults tell me, "Doctor, I've gotten used to reading on the couch with just the living room lamp. It doesn't bother me." But the truth is, that habit forces your eyes into unnecessary strain. And that silent strain can speed up vision problems, especially for those already dealing with early macular degeneration. Why lighting matters. When the lighting is weak, your pupils must dilate more to capture enough light. That effort increases eye fatigue, often leading to burning, headaches, and temporary blurry vision. It's like trying to walk down a dark road with a fading flashlight. You can still move forward, but with constant tension and a higher risk of stumbling. A study published in the British Journal of Ophthalmology found that seniors who spend long hours reading or sewing in poor lighting report more symptoms of visual fatigue and face a higher risk of worsening macular discomfort. In other words, this isn't just inconvenience, it's a genuine risk. Take the case of Clarice, 70, a retired teacher. She loved reading novels at bedtime, but she did so with just a weak bedside lamp. Over time, she developed frequent headaches and needed more and more breaks to finish a chapter. After she switched her setup, replacing her bulb with a brighter one and positioning it behind her shoulder, aimed directly at the book, she noticed immediate improvement. "I can read full chapters again without interruptions. Turns out it wasn't my age, it was my lighting," she told me with a smile. That one small adjustment transformed her reading experience. How to fix this in practical ways? Choose white light bulbs, which more closely mimic natural daylight. Position the light behind your shoulder, shining onto your book or sewing project. Avoid direct light in your eyes, which causes glare and even more discomfort. Take advantage of natural daylight whenever possible. It's free and healthiest for your eyes. Reading in proper lighting isn't a luxury, it's care. This tiny adjustment can dramatically reduce eye strain, preserve clarity, and bring joy back to your reading routine. Reading in poor light forces the pupil, increases fatigue, and can accelerate damage in those with early macular degeneration. Adjusting your lighting is a small but powerful step towards stronger vision. The habit of using eye drops without guidance. It might feel harmless. Your eyes are dry, so you grab an old bottle of eye drops from the drawer, put in a few drops, and move on with your day. But this common routine can hide serious risks for your vision. What feels like relief may actually be masking the early signs of something more dangerous. Why this happens? Not all eye drops are the same. There are lubricating drops, anti-inflammatories, vasoconstrictors, antibiotics, and each has a very different effect. Many older adults believe if it's an eye drop, it must be good for my eyes. Unfortunately, that's not true. Some over-the-counter eye drops contain substances that raise intraocular pressure, worsening conditions like glaucoma. Others simply hide the redness without treating the underlying cause. It's like spraying perfume on an infected wound. It covers the smell, but the infection continues to spread. A review in the Journal of Glaucoma showed that the indiscriminate use of vasoconstrictor eye drops is linked to increased eye pressure in older patients. And the American Academy of Ophthalmology warns that self-medicating with eye drops is one of the main reasons glaucoma and other silent diseases go undiagnosed until it's too late. Francisco, 73, a retired bus driver, used to complain of burning eyes at night. Without consulting anyone, he bought lubricating drops from the pharmacy. For months, they gave quick relief. But eventually, he began noticing a shadow in the corner of his vision. Only when he finally saw an ophthalmologist did he discover his eye pressure was dangerously high and that he had early glaucoma. "I thought I was helping myself, but I was just covering up the problem," he told me, shaken. That's the hidden danger: short-term comfort, long-term damage. How to act safely. Only use eye drops prescribed by your doctor, especially if you have a history of glaucoma, cataracts, or high eye pressure. If you have frequent symptoms like burning, redness, or blurred vision, get a proper evaluation instead of self-medicating. Choose preservative-free lubricating drops when recommended, as they are gentler on the eyes. Never share eye drops with family members. Each case is unique, and cross-contamination can spread infection. Using eye drops without guidance is like driving a car with the dashboard covered. You may keep moving, but you can't see the warning lights. The good news is, with a simple change in habit, seeking professional guidance before using any drops, you can protect your vision and avoid complications. Self-medicating with eye drops can raise eye pressure and delay critical diagnoses. Safe care means never treating your eyes blindly. Always get professional advice. Always sitting in the same spot to watch TV. At first glance, it seems like nothing. Who hasn't picked a favorite spot on the couch and stuck with it every night? But over the years, that tiny habit can take more of a toll on your eyes than you realize. The problem isn't just the sofa, it's what happens to your body and your vision when you never change your position. Why this matters? When you always sit the same way, your body locks into a fixed posture. Often the neck tilts slightly, shoulders tighten, and circulation gets restricted. That doesn't just strain your back, it also affects the blood and oxygen flow that reaches your eyes. It's like a dam blocking a river. When the flow slows, the land downstream dries out. The same goes for your vision. If circulation is compromised, your eyes suffer. Research in the American Journal of Ophthalmology shows that poor posture and prolonged muscle tension increase visual fatigue and symptoms like dry eyes and blurred vision. Other studies on ocular circulation suggest that restricted posture can reduce blood flow to the optic nerve, a critical risk factor for conditions such as glaucoma or macular degeneration. Estella, 71, a retired seamstress, had a strict routine. Every evening after dinner, she sat in the same corner of the couch facing the TV. Over time, she began to feel neck pain and eye irritation. "I thought it was just age catching up," she said. After making small changes, alternating where she sat, adjusting the TV height, and taking short breaks to stretch, she noticed her eyes felt more comfortable during movies, and her headaches decreased. "I never imagined the way I sat could tire out my eyes so much," she admitted, surprised. How to fix this in practical ways? Switch up your spot. Avoid sitting in the exact same place and posture every night. Adjust the TV height so the screen is at eye level, preventing constant neck tilting. Take short breaks every hour. Stand up, stretch your neck and shoulders, and blink consciously to refresh the eyes. Choose seating with good back support, such as a firm chair or a recliner that supports posture. Watching TV should be a moment of relaxation, not a hidden source of strain. With small adjustments in posture and circulation, you can ease eye fatigue and protect your long-term vision. Always sitting in the same spot locks your body into unhealthy patterns that restrict circulation and tire your eyes. Varying your position and adjusting posture is simple but powerful care for your vision. Ignoring small spots or dark patches in your vision. Among all the habits that harm vision, this may be the most dangerous. Ignoring subtle signs like tiny spots, dark patches, or flashes of light in your eyesight. Many older adults shrug them off. "Oh, that's just age, it'll pass." But sometimes delaying action can come at a very high cost. What looks like a minor annoyance may actually be the first warning of something serious. Why this happens? When a spot or dark patch appears in your visual field, it means part of your retina isn't processing the image properly. It could be temporary, or it could signal early macular degeneration, glaucoma, or even retinal detachment. Ignoring it is like spotting a crack in your home's foundation and pretending it isn't there. One day, the wall could collapse. According to the American Academy of Ophthalmology, early diagnosis of conditions like macular degeneration significantly improves the chances of stabilizing vision. And with retinal detachment, timing is even more critical. Every hour of delay can cause permanent cell damage. In other words, how quickly you act at the first sign can determine your visual future. Alberto, 69, a retired carpenter, noticed a dark smudge in the corner of his right eye, but assumed it was just fatigue. He only sought help when the smudge grew larger and disrupted his reading. By then, the diagnosis was advanced retinal detachment. Despite surgery, part of his vision was gone for good. "If I'd gone earlier, maybe it wouldn't have reached this point," he said with regret. In contrast, Lourdes, 72, began seeing flashes of light and small spots in her vision. Alarmed, she went to the doctor right away. She was diagnosed with early macular degeneration and managed to stabilize her condition with treatment. "It was scary to hear the diagnosis, but I'm grateful I acted quickly. Today I can still see my grandchildren's faces clearly," she said with relief. How to act safely. Never ignore spots, flashes, or dark patches in your vision. Seek immediate medical attention, especially if symptoms appear suddenly. Schedule regular checkups, even if you have no symptoms. Keep a journal of any changes so you can describe them clearly to your doctor. Small warning signs are not just old age. They are often your eyes calling for help. Recognizing and acting on these signals early can make the difference between preserving or losing part of your vision. Spots, dark patches, and flashes can indicate serious eye diseases. Ignoring them is risky. Responding quickly is how you protect your independence. The hidden daily sugar habit. Few habits are as sneaky and as harmful as hidden sugar. I'm not just talking about obvious sweets like cake and desserts. Sugar hides in your daily coffee, in plain crackers that seem harmless, and even in breads and packaged yogurts. Those small daily spoonfuls may be silently damaging your vision. Why this matters? Excess sugar in the bloodstream damages the delicate blood vessels in the retina, raising the risk of diabetic retinopathy, one of the leading causes of blindness in older adults. Sugar also fuels chronic inflammation, like embers that slowly burn through body tissues, including the eyes. You may not feel it at first, but over time the damage adds up. Studies published in Diabetes Care confirm that high blood glucose levels are directly linked to retinopathy risk. The World Health Organization also warns that seniors with high sugar consumption are nearly twice as likely to develop eye complications related to diabetes. The danger isn't only in birthday cake, it's in those everyday spoonfuls you hardly notice. Margarita, 75, a devoted grandmother and coffee lover, sweetened each cup with 2 spoonfuls of sugar, and she drank 4 to 5 cups a day. Over time, her vision grew blurry, and small print became harder to read. An eye exam revealed early signs of diabetic retinopathy. Frightened, she cut back on sugar, swapping it for cinnamon and natural sweeteners. She also adjusted her diet. Within a few months, she reported clearer, more comfortable vision. "It wasn't easy to change, but every sugar-free sip feels like an investment in my sight," she told me. How to adjust in practice. Gradually reduce sugar in your coffee until you can eliminate it or replace it. Choose fresh fruit instead of processed cookies and snacks. Read nutrition labels carefully. Many whole grain or healthy foods still hide high sugar. Flavor with spices like cinnamon to add sweetness without harm. This isn't about never tasting sweetness again. It's about taking control, choosing when and how sugar appears in your life. Hidden sugar may seem like a harmless companion, but it's one of vision's greatest enemies. Reducing it doesn't just protect your eyes, it strengthens your entire body against silent inflammation. Excess sugar damages the retina, raises the risk of retinopathy, and fuels inflammation. Cutting back is a concrete, powerful step toward keeping your vision clear. Knowing what harms your vision is important, but even more important is turning that knowledge into daily action.
That's why I've created a simple 5-step ritual you can repeat every day to protect your eyes and stop silent habits from stealing your clarity. The secret isn't changing everything at once. It's about small adjustments that, together, make a big difference. 1. Correct lighting for reading. Always use clear, direct light when reading. Choose white bulbs placed behind your shoulder, shining directly on your book or craft. Think of it like opening the curtains in the morning. You allow your vision to breathe instead of suffocating it. 2. Eye drops with guidance. Never use eye drops without knowing exactly what's inside. Before opening a bottle, ask yourself, was this prescribed for me? Eye drops aren't just water for the eyes, they're medicine. Used incorrectly, they can mask disease and cause harm. 3. Move your body while watching TV. Every hour, stand up, stretch your neck, and shift position. Don't get stuck in the same corner of the sofa. Think of it like rotating a potted plant. Every side needs light and nutrients to stay healthy. 4. Don't ignore warning signs. If you notice spots, flashes, or shadows, don't wait. Seek medical attention immediately. Catching problems early is like fixing a crack in a wall before it collapses. 5. Cut back on hidden sugar. Swap sugar in your coffee for cinnamon, skip processed cookies, and choose fresh fruit instead. Every spoonful you avoid is like removing 1 drop of corrosion from the delicate vessels in your retina. Teresa, 71, a retired librarian, lived with tired eyes. She used over-the-counter drops, sweetened every cup of coffee, and read at night with dim lighting. When she adopted this 5-step ritual, fixing her lighting, asking her doctor before using drops, moving more while watching TV, taking warning signs seriously, and reducing sugar, she told me she was able to return to reading her favorite poetry without constant fatigue. I realized it wasn't just age holding me back, but my habits. Changing them made all the difference, she said. This ritual isn't difficult. It doesn't require expensive medicine or miracle promises. It simply organizes everyday choices into a protective shield for your eyes. Proper lighting, guided use of drops, moving your body, responding to warning signs, cutting hidden sugar. 5 simple steps to safeguard your vision and preserve your independence. If you've made it this far, you already know that protecting your vision isn't just about expensive treatments, it's about habits. And to wrap this up, I want to share a bonus tip, a simple practice almost no one talks about: conscious blinking. Why blinking matters. It sounds silly, but blinking may be the difference between dry, irritated eyes and eyes that feel comfortable. When we read, watch TV, or use a phone, our natural blinking rate drops dramatically. That leaves the eyes dry, as if the surface were covered by a cracked film. Each blink spreads natural tears, hydrating and protecting the cornea. Think of it like oiling a machine. Without lubrication, everything grinds. With it, everything runs smoothly. What science shows? Research from Harvard Medical School demonstrates that simple blinking exercises improve tear quality and reduce burning sensations in older adults, especially in dry environments or during screen use. How to do it? Set aside 2 or 3 moments during the day. Close your eyes gently for 2 seconds. Then press your eyelids lightly for 2 more seconds. Open slowly and repeat the cycle 10 times. This exercise helps reactivate tear glands and restores the moisture barrier your eyes need. Renato, 68, a retired bus driver and chess enthusiast, spent hours in front of a computer screen. His eyes burned, turned red, and often felt heavy. When he added this conscious blinking routine 3 times a day, he noticed improvement within weeks. It seemed too simple to matter, but now my eyes feel lighter. It was like the solution was inside me all along, he said. Tea nourishes your eyes from the inside. Good posture protects them, and conscious blinking hydrates them. This bonus habit is quick, free, and powerful, a daily gift to your vision. If there's one message I want to leave you with today, it's this:
It's not too late. Even if your vision feels blurry, even if you've stopped reading at night, or you feel uneasy driving after dark, there are still simple, accessible steps that can support your eyesight and bring comfort back to your day. Most importantly, you're not alone. Thousands of older adults share the same fears, losing independence, needing help just across the street, or struggling to recognize a loved one's smile. But each small shift we covered here, fixing your reading light, avoiding self-prescribed eye drops, changing posture, paying attention to visual spots, cutting hidden sugar, and even practicing conscious blinking is a quiet victory against the wear and tear on your eyes. Stories like Maria's, Clarice's, Alberto's, and Renato's prove the point. They didn't rely on miracles, they relied on consistent habits. And every habit gave back a piece of the freedom they thought they'd lost. Remember, your body still responds to care. It may not give you 20-year-old eyes, but it can reward you with clarity, comfort, and confidence, enough to keep living independently and fully. Protecting your eyes is about more than reading letters or watching a screen. It's about protecting your freedom. It's about staying moved by a good book, recognizing your family's faces, and walking safely with your head up. It's not too late. You're not alone. And your body still answers when you care for it. If this video brought you clarity, now it's your turn to act. First, like this video. That simple tap tells the platform that eye health matters and helps this message reach more people who need it. Second, share it. Send it to a friend who complains about burning eyes, a neighbor who reads in the dark, or your kids and grandkids. Eye health isn't just personal. It preserves stories, memories, and independence. Third, subscribe and turn on notifications. Every week, I share practical, safe, and accessible guidance to protect your vision after 60. Don't let a lack of information chip away at your quality of life. Now I want to hear from you. Which of these habits do you think affects your vision the most right now? Reading in poor light, using eye drops without guidance, always sitting in the same TV spot, ignoring small visual spots, or hidden daily sugar? Drop your answer in the comments. Your experience might inspire someone else to start their own transformation. Caring for your eyes is caring for your freedom. It's how you keep seeing every detail of life with clarity and confidence. Like, share, subscribe, and tell me in the comments, which habit will you change first?